17 News is your local election headquarters. 3 weeks now since the midterm primary election. And tonight, it appears we may finally know the outcomes of our local races. 17's Maddie Gannon in studio now to explain. Maddie?
Jim, Registrar of Voters Mary Bedard says we have just 757 ballots left to count here in Kern. But all of those are challenged, meaning there's an issue with the signature on the envelope. These voters were notified and their ballot can still be counted if they provide a signature up to 2 days before the county certifies our results. There's no clear deadline for that, as the county can certify any time between now and July 8th. But either way, 757 votes is not enough to change who will move on to the general election in any race here. So that leaves us with a much clearer, if not definite, picture of exactly who will face off in November and who has secured positions here at the county level. So in the 20th Congressional District, Republican incumbent and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy will face Democrat Fairfax Junior High School teacher Marisa Wood in the November general election. In the ultra-competitive 22nd Congressional District, Republican incumbent David Valadeo will run against five-term Bakersfield Assemblyman Democrat Rudy Salas. In the race for the 16th Senate District, this was packed in the primary. Current State Senator Democrat Melissa Hurtado and Republican political newcomer David Shepard will move on to November's runoff. Shepard garnered 45% of the primary vote to Hurtado's 31%. And in the 12th Senate District race, both Republican incumbent Shannon Grove and Democrat Suzanne Gundy will match up again in November. In the primary here, Grove received 69% of the vote, with Gundy pulling in 31%. Now in the 35th Assembly District, current 5th District Supervisor Democrat Leticia Perez leads Dr. Jasmeet Baines by the tightest of margins, just 261 votes. Here, the 757 challenge ballots could make a difference in the outcome, but it really doesn't matter, as both of these two candidates will advance to November. Now on the county level, Zach Scrivener has taken down two challengers to keep his seat representing the 2nd District on the Board of Supervisors, receiving 73% of the vote. And in the 3rd District Supervisor race, Jess Flores and Brian Smith will both move on to November. Flores getting 40% of the votes here to Smith's 33%. Lewis Gill stepped out of the race last week. In the Assessor Recorder race, current assistant to the position Laura Avila appears to have won the role, getting 52% of the vote to current Kern Chief Appraiser Todd Reeves' 48%. Lastly, in the Auditor, Controller, County Clerk, Registrar of Voters race, the assistant to the incumbent Amy Espinoza is slightly edging out local businessman Mark McKenzie. Over 100,000 people voted in this race, and the two candidates are separated by just 995 votes. And we've talked about this before. This contest has received a lot of attention this election cycle. Around 13,000 more people cast a vote in this race than the last time it was on the primary ballot in 2018. And as we mentioned, the 750 ballots left are challenged, and some may not be counted. So these do appear to be our final results. But here in California, any candidate can request a recount, no matter how close the race. The candidate covers the cost unless the recount changes the results. In studio, Maddie Gannon, 17 News.
All right, thanks, Maddie.